So how did I get interested in management? So this was a while ago now, probably 10 years ago. I had left chemistry and took some time off, did some traveling, went to some places I always wanted to see, or saw some places I always wanted to see, did some things I always wanted to do. And I came back to Philadelphia and I didn't have a job lined up. So I spent a couple of months basically sleeping on people's couches or in their basements. And I got to a point where I felt like I've got to do something. I've got to get a job of some sort. So I went out and got a job as a sales associate for a large nationwide retail organization. And it wasn't a minimum wage job, but it wasn't much more than that. And I was only there for a couple of months. But about 3 months into it, I remember distinctly the organization flew in an executive manager to meet with the employees of the store to kind of give them a sort of a rally the troops sort of talk. And he was flown in from, I don't know where, Seattle or someplace. So they called us all together. We had a store-wide meeting one day, and all of my associates and I were expected to show up. And I remember sitting in this room watching this gentleman's PowerPoint presentation. And some of it was about kind of the business on the national end, but most of it was about basically how I and my colleagues could do our jobs better. And I remember sitting there watching the slides and going, that's a bad idea, that's a bad idea. That's an okay idea, and I might do that, but not in the circumstances you just described. That's another bad idea, and that's just a terrible idea. So this got me to thinking, why am I listening to you when you should be listening to me? And I mean that not as why am I not an executive manager when this guy should be a sales associate and that our roles should be reversed here. No, what I meant was in a larger sense. Why is it that people in your position aren't listening to me, and instead I am listening to you? After all, I'm closer to the customer. I've got a better idea of what's selling, what's working, and what's not. So how is it then that you're telling me how to do my job, when instead you should be asking me how you can help me do my job better? And that's really what started it all.